Get ready for it. Yeah, this is it. Go! Go!
Morning V2, how are things going?
Morning D1, very well. In a very nice setting here today, so feeling pretty relaxed. How about you?
Yeah, no, it's nice to be somewhat unexpectedly, I guess, and we'll explain why, in the African bushveld this morning. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a tumultuous, probably one way to describe the last 10 days, Kev.
Yeah, as you know, I was in Italy with the family and returned, and literally when I turned the phone on, got news of my dad's passing. And so we both headed to South Africa and had a tough 10 days preparing for the funeral, which was we've just had on Thursday, but certainly been a great tribute to Dad's life, and nice to spend time with Mom and our sister, Lynn.
Yeah, no, it's been a hard week, aside from the logistics of getting out here and arranging the funeral. It's been obviously pretty emotional for all of us, I think, but yeah, as you said, great to be together with family, and also just I think we commented yesterday, just really sometimes you get a little frustrated with humanity, just restoring our faith in humanity as to how much love and support we've received over the last 10 days or so since my dad passed. It's been phenomenal, so that's been fantastic.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone who has sent condolences and been thinking of us. It's been appreciated. And one of the things, Hill, we also discussed was how we don't take it for granted that we're able to run, and that you're all able to run, from the perspective that Dad did have Parkinson's and had it for I think 18 years, and towards the end obviously it became very difficult and he wasn't very mobile. So you know, we fully appreciate that we can do that, and we'll do it while we can. So yeah,
absolutely. I remember how he used to say he was so frustrated that he couldn't, you know, in the end even obviously get out of his chair, and we just we don't take it for granted. But as you say, running is something that, you know, we love, and we almost just think you'll always be able to do it, right? So absolutely, very grateful for that.
Yeah, well, here we're at a place called Tranquility Lodge, and it is, you know, just one of those magnificent bush lodges. It's extremely rustic. You're in the bush, there are beautiful sounds. Last night we had lions roaring in the background, some other unidentifiable noises, but absolutely fantastic setting here, and it feels like a good way just to sort of get closure and spend some more time with the family.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, I think, as we said, it's been a big week, so this is a great way to round out the week. And then, yeah, Kev, you and I are both in South Africa for a couple of weeks still. We couldn't get flights back, so, you know, we may come to you from here next week again, but this has been a nice way to close out the week for sure.
Yeah, and we have tried to keep the running fire burning, so we Hills kept me honest with the program and apparently let me know that we had a 30k or 3-hour run planned for this weekend, which I hadn't really been tracking. I think the longest I was saying to Hill that I've run was when I did the Great Southern in November, and that was sort of that 3-day stage race, but I haven't really done any long running since. It's been very difficult being on holiday, and therefore, you know, really haven't gone out for anything long. So tell us about how that went, Hill, yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, we had to make an early start. I think we had planned 5 a.m, but we made 5:30, I think, Kev. It's the weather here is phenomenal, but it does get pretty hot from about 10 or 9 in the morning. So we made an early start from the place we've been staying, and we set out for a place called Fort Klapperkorp, which is an old fort sort of on the top of the hill here in Pretoria, actually Mum and Dad used to take us there, where they have various sort of wartime displays, etc. So just they've turned it into a nature reserve, so that's the other thing that you have to consider here is safety. when you run. And so we ran to Fort Klapperkop, and then there's obviously some elevation involved, one in getting there, but two getting to the top of the fort. Yeah, it was just a spectacular run, Kevin. We saw some awesome things. Why don't you tell us about what we saw?
Yeah, well, the first thing I wanted to mention is there was the climb up the hill, and we didn't really realize, or we didn't know which sort of road would take us up. So we just popped it into Google Maps, and it took us up a street called Rose Street. I reckon it's one of the steepest streets I've ever run. And that said, we tested out a little bit of our walking strategy on that hill. It was extremely steep, and then we made it up to the entrance to Fort Klapperkop, went through there and stopped at the first sort of viewpoint, which had a magnificent vista of Pretoria with the Union buildings in the background, the tower, UNISA, the uni, etc. But we were standing there chatting to a couple of South African chaps, and they were cyclists, and next moment I just looked beyond them, and there were two zebras walking towards us, which was very unexpected, and didn't realize they had any game in there, but that was really nice, and they literally walked right up to us and up the road, so that was quite a nice surprise.
Yeah, no, it was weird. You're in the city and you've got zebra walking out to meet you. It was nice, but yeah, it was a lovely run. Like, as we said, quite a bit of elevation, and I think Kevin and I felt a bit like it was a bit confidence building, because we were running slowly, but certainly a lot more elevation than I'm used to, and we ended up doing just over 3 hours, just 30 k's, just over 30 k's as well, and have actually pulled up okay today, Kev.
Yeah, well, I think there's a few differences in what certainly I've been doing, in that my recovery has generally been pretty weak after those runs. But yeah, Hill had a recovery supplement that we're trialing, which seemed to work, and we took some magnesium. We also had a massage at the spa here, which all really helped a lot. So yeah, we've pulled up pretty okay, I reckon.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have been trialing various things, and I mean, it goes without saying for all you runners would know this, but the recovery is as important as, actually getting the run in and run done. So we've paid attention to our nutrition, and had as Kev said, the pleasure of having a massage here at the resort yesterday afternoon, which I think helped too. So not ready to go again fairly shortly, Kev.
Yeah, hopefully. We've now sort of got the road to Port Fairy Marathon, which is on the 19th of Feb. So I was saying to Hill, I don't really feel like we've got the right level of training or prep for that one. It's literally around the corner, and we've probably only got the opportunity for one, max two more long runs. So we're going to have to back up this effort with another one next weekend, and then it's a 2-week type taper. But maybe we'll fit in some other, obviously fit in some other runs in between that. But
yeah, no, and I actually remember being here probably 5-6 years ago now, before marathon, where I managed to get some training done here as well, and the high altitude coupled with some of the elevation that we talked about is actually quite good quality. So hopefully in a few weeks' time we won't be as unfit as we think we might be.
Yeah, you definitely feel a difference with the breathing here. So we're sitting at about 1,300 meters. We would have got up to probably 1,400 on the hill there, maybe a bit more, 1,500. So the breathing is a little bit more labored. It's good training. I think both of us had a spike in our fitness level on Strava, if you track that. So that spiked up quite nicely. So
yeah,
we try and keep that there.
Anyway, we'll might attach a bit of footage of our run yesterday and a bit of the wildlife that we're experiencing here. We've got a nice game drive actually scheduled for this afternoon, Kev.
Yeah, so it'd be nice. We're going to be seeing some lions and some cheetahs. I think we actually go on this sort of feeding kind of trip or whatever they call it. So I think they feed the lions, but they are out in the wild. But we'll see what that entails. Not too sure, but it sounds good.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. All right, we'll leave you a quote, which is a not so much running, but just a broader life quote. So we'll leave you with that for this week. And the quote is, "Many people are alive, but don't touch the miracle of being alive." See you next week.
See ya.
Wow, not something you see too often in an early morning run. Yeah, and this is in the city of Pretoria too. Just up near the top of Fort Klapperkop, which is an old fort in Pretoria. We're going to try and head to the top there. And then you have the view of Pretoria here. Magnificent union buildings in the background there. Anyway, back to the running.
Nee, 5. Check. 5. 6 is the beach.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Are you scared or what? You don't have to be afraid. Relax.
This day is gonna be the greatest memory, making history. Let's go. You don't need no luck with that golden touch. Time to light it up. Let's go. Get ready for it. Get ready for it.